Morning, morning, morning. How are we doing? Good to see you all. All four of you. I don't know why I said all. It's a bit weird. Never mind. How are we doing? Right, okay. As per the normal now, the screen share is live on YouTube, so we are over there. We are streaming. As expected on the daily, we're actually seeing a little bit of sideways momentum, so we seem to be consolidating at the moment around this 30.3, 30.4 region. Of course, if we zoom in, there's a little bit more volatility than that. But we're generally staying within this channel between kind of 30 and 31. In the last couple of days, that really has been between 30.6 and 30. So it's starting to narrow the channel a little bit, but we have turned the area of resistance of 30.4 into a possible area of support, hopefully. But either way, we're definitely staying above 30k for now. The hourly on Bitcoin looks like it is coming down with the stochastic RSI, which would indicate maybe we are going to lose some momentum. The 4 hourly is actually bottomed out on the stochastic RSI, which would indicate we need to go upward. And then the daily chart is pretty much maxed out on the way down as well. So, judging by the hourly and the daily, we're probably going to have a little bit of a reset. But then at some point, we could have a little bit of a rally because the 4 hourly would indicate it has space to move upward. But the daily and the hourly don't. So I would discount the 4 hourly for now and think that maybe we're going to head downwards. Or maybe just move sideways for a little bit longer and consolidate. Who really knows? Is Chainlink about to break out? Let's go and have a look at Chainlink. Absolutely no problem. So, that looks nice actually. Yeah, the Chainlink chart looks very, very decent. It's had a big, big drop. Now, the last time we saw anything like this was quite a while ago. Actually, on Bitcoin, this is a very similar pattern to Bitcoin. If we go across to there, this is back here. You see, we had a very similar pattern. Anyone on YouTube can see this. We had a very similar kind of bottom pattern. We formed a little bit of a handle, and then Bitcoin did drop a little bit more, but then it absolutely exploded. It went up from 15.6 at the bottom. So this was actually the bottom last year. So it went from 15.5, 15.5 all the way up to 25, pulled back down to 19.5, and then obviously went up to the regions of 31 at the moment. So Chainlink's chart is looking very, very similar, and Link is quite a good indicator as a forerunner for the general markets because we were trading in a very nice daily channel on Chainlink. It did dip below, but we've come right up above that now, back to where the general area of resistance, so support was. So we've broken that area of resistance there. Hopefully we can consolidate above $6 and then maybe push upwards towards 670 again. And then higher and higher and higher from there. But generally, there was a channel, and we were generally trading above $8.80 up towards the top of the channel. So this could be the start of a breakout back up to those levels. We'll have to really wait and see. But it does look possible that it could be about to break out. The one negative thing I would say about that, although we've got great volume, the stochastic RSI is maxed out and it is starting to turn downwards on the daily now. So what we're seeing is possibly Chainlink having that rally with that volume. It might go sideways for a little while because the stochastic RSI is maxed out. But if we keep that volume, it'll carry on going sideways on the stochastic. We might push up a little bit more, but at some point it will need to pull back. Will it pull back down to $5.40 and test those levels? We don't know. Of course not. But that is a possible scenario. Good morning, Negs. Good morning, Phil. How are we? Phil, I appreciate these morning views, buddy. I'm sorry to hear that your arm's still not 100%. That torn bicep sounds very, very painful. I don't mind people saying that they learn from me, but I'm only here to offer my opinion, buddy. If you find it of value, which I believe you do from your previous comments, I appreciate that 100%, buddy. I like to think I try and talk common sense, if nothing else. But no, I appreciate that support, buddy, and I appreciate you being here. And I hope those painkillers kick in very, very soon. Crichton Gaming, how you doing, buddy? Things looking, how are things looking? Not looked for a few months. To be fair, I think Bitcoin at the moment is looking relatively strong. We seem to be consolidating above 30K at the moment. So Bitcoin for me, the dominance remains, and it will probably. Well, I don't know what it's going to do. The daily, the stochastic RSI is very high. It's turning down. So either it'll come back down and pull down to 29.5, maybe even as far down as 28.5, and then we'll see how the stochastic RSI is doing then. The volume has dropped right off. So ever since we shot up in March, the volume is much, much lower than ever. So these are very low volume rides that we're having on Bitcoin. So there's going to be incredibly susceptible to price drops. Link VWAP is 5.63, down to there or up as it resets higher. Let's have a look. Link's figures. Let's have a look. VWAP. I love it when someone says something I don't know. VWAP, I haven't got a clue what that means. I've always said I'm an amateur charter at best, self-taught, so VWAP's interesting. So VWAP is 5.63 down. Okay, so you got it about there. Okay, cool. Okay, yeah. I kind of see what you're saying, but I don't really understand. Thoughts on Injective Protocol? Injective Protocol is on my watch list. It's not one I currently hold. I do quite like it. I'm definitely keeping an eye on it. It's had a very, very strong run. It was previously a very low cap one that I was looking at. And I've never ever bought into it. So it's up to $7.63 now. Circulating supply is 80 million out of 100 million. So it's got a decent supply set up. Current price is pretty good. All-time high is 22.60 in the bull run, which was April 2021 into May. November and October did not see a new all-time high, though. I do like to see new all-time highs in October, November 21, because it shows that they finished the bear market quite strongly. The market cap situation, they've actually got a higher market cap now than they've ever had. So be wary about that. You're not probably going to achieve this price of $22 because the market cap in May 2021 was 430 million. So it is less, but the price was higher, which only means that they've diluted the supply. So the supply must be a lot lower. The market cap now is actually higher than it was in the bull run peak. So be careful of that. Your price is not going to get you there. Your market cap figure is actually higher now than it was in the bull run. So you're not going to set a new all-time high on that token price. The market cap is already substantial. Yes, it can go up more. It is a decent project. As I said, I am watching it, but do not expect that token to make new all-time highs just because it did in the bull run. In the bull run, they had far less tokens in supply, which means that your market cap to price ratio was much, much better. As I said, you can see here in May 2021, it's $22. Right now, it's $7. Whereas market cap now is like, what, 615 million. Back in the bull run in May 2021, it was 520 million. So you've got about an extra 20% of the tokens out there. So I would say about 15 to 20, somewhere between 15 to 20 million tokens have made it into circulating supply, diluting the token price. So that, it's a big difference. $22 to $7 for the same market cap. It's a big difference in price. So even if you like the use case, remember you're here to invest and make money. You need to be checking that kind of thing as well, because if you put money into that thinking you're going to get $22 token, it would now have to be about a $1.5 billion project. It's simple maths, but it's something that people really are overlooking. So as I said, great project. Just be careful of the tokenomics and your price expectations and your targets. Good morning, Jay. How are we? Good to see you, buddy. I hope you're very, very well. Node Army, good morning. I hope you're well too. Thank you for joining us. As I'm saying, I am live on the other streaming service, screen sharing, because TikTok does not like people talking about crypto. I did get a ban the other day, which was upheld. I don't know what for. Apparently it was gambling. So that is, I can't use TikTok Studio anymore for 30 days as a result. So of course I'm on YouTube. I was using Kick, but actually to make money out of Kick, you actually need to stream 4 hours a day. I'm not going to do that. So YouTube have relaxed their rules, so I'm going to start using YouTube a lot more instead. Good morning, Joe. How are we, buddy? Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for joining. Thank you for hitting those likes, people. The people that are hitting the likes, if you can carry on doing that. We've only got 39, yet we've got over 30 people in the room. So if you can all start smashing the likes, we will get more and more people in and some more fresh ideas to talk about. But as I said, Injective is a great example about price and market cap and token supply, because at the moment, your market cap is actually higher at the moment than it was back in the bull run. And your token price is 1/3 of what it was. That is all about circulating supply. TikTok trying to keep Biden happy. Possibly. It was just weird. I think it was a malicious report from someone watching the live. There is a little bit of that going on at the moment on TikTok. People are getting very, very petty. So I think someone reported the live. And TikTok, after a 30-second review, upheld it. It was a 45, 50-minute live, apparently, which they reviewed in 30 seconds. It was a bit of a shame. But thank you for hitting those likes, people. We will get it out there. I'll keep TikTok in live. There's no reason for that not to happen. But as I said, YouTube is the place to be if I actually want to share information freely, or relatively freely. Injective protocol. I do like it. Nothing against the project at all. Just tokenomics and return of investment expectation. The risk to reward isn't there for me anymore, so I don't hold it. But it is brilliant. I mean, it's a blockchain built for finance, open, interoperable, layer one blockchain, next generation DeFi, spot and derivatives exchanges, prediction markets, lending protocols. So I think if you think that the future of blockchain is mostly finance, or at least it's going to start off being finance through regulation, then Injective's a very strong place to place your bets. But as I said, token price is a little bit misleading on that chart. Are we buying the fear with Algo and Solana? Solana I don't like anyway, so I won't be buying it. I mean, I know I should have my investor head on, it isn't dead, but I just don't like the tech, and therefore I don't buy it. Algo, I think, is decent. It just needs to actually pick a specialist subject. It's a bit like a pub quiz wannabe. It tries to do everything, and it does everything pretty badly. I think the system is brilliant. They just try and do too much. They need to narrow their field, because apparently they do finance, they do ISO, they do metaverse, they do gaming, they do NFTs. They say they do a lot, yet what's the last decent project you heard of that came out of Algorand's network? I can't name one. Not one. So Algo just need to specialise and get some decent dApps on that network. But Solana's never been for me because of the tech and the reliability. I don't see that improving. I think that their technology is weak compared to others out there. They had the luxury of the NFT support, which might come back in the next bull run to Solana. But right now, Solana, for me, looking very, very weak. If I had my investor head on, I might have bought a little bit, but I just really don't like it that much. I can't do it. Thoughts on Naka? I mean, I'm not an expert on Naka, but Nakamoto Games is looking like a pretty good platform. It's a bit of a competitor to Gala and to UOS maybe as well. Gala, of course, is diversifying into movies and streaming music, so they've got quite a few arms to the bow. But I've always said, if you like a sector like gaming, like movie streaming or music streaming, look for what is the best known. Look for the market leader, which is Gala, and look for something with a lower cap, which is just as good, if not better. And Nakamoto Games does appear to be doing very, very well. It released in the bull run in October, November 2021. So CMC chart starts at a very bullish time, and then flatlines. So it's currently $32 million, fully diluted. It's 79. So the tokenomics are a bit better than Gala as well. Gala's tokenomics only has 20% in circulating supply, whereas Naka has just trying to work this out now. So 7/18, so 14, about 410. So about 40% of its circulating supply is out there, which is better than Gala. What I would say again, though, is that Nakamoto Games, just be careful of price and market cap. You can see here, obviously, the price was very, very high at $5.90 back in October 2021. However, the market cap is now much, much higher. because they've obviously released more and more tokens into the supply. And this is what I'm saying: is things with a very low supply when they're released have a high token price, but over time that gets diluted as they grow. They'll release more and more tokens, so that the value of the project keeps going up, but your token price goes down. So they are drawing that liquidity out of the token supply. But all cryptos do that. That's exactly what the token does. It provides them with your liquidity, and then they can develop. Naka is a very strong project in that area. It's not on a lot of exchanges. It's only on KuCoin, Mexi, and QuickSwap. Of course, I would go the decentralized way. I'd probably buy it on QuickSwap if I was going to do that. But it looks like maybe there's only like 1% of the volume going through there at the moment. But people still using exchanges, which is fine. Just don't keep it on there. Do you sense that ETH is due to pump short term? Let's have a look at ETH and see what the charts are saying. As I said, I'm not a charting expert and I don't really do futures trading, but let's have a look on the daily on ETH. So the stochastic RSI is very high and turning down, which is copying the chart a little bit. I'm expecting a little bit of a pullback on ETH, to be fair, according to the daily. Looking at the 4 hourly, stochastic RSI is rock bottom. We've been going sideways. So short term, it could pump. I think you're right, short term it could, but the hourly is also maxed out on the stochastic RSI as well. There's not a lot of volume there on the hourly. The 4 hourly has got a bit of volume. Yeah, we could have a small pump, but there's nothing obvious that shouts out it's definitely going to happen. I mean, we've got an inverse head and shoulders there, maybe, you could say. Maybe a double inverse head and shoulders. You could say that the whole thing's a head and shoulders, and then there's another head and shoulders within it, but yeah, it could pump short term, but I don't really do that kind of charting, to be honest with you. Bricks and Slides, how we doing, buddy? Gala Army, I know you love your Gala. You absolutely love your Gala. Let's check in on Gala and see what's happening with them. The price just keeps coming down at the moment. I think a lot of people that like Gala would think this is an absolute bargain. We have seen Gala down at 1.5 cents, and of course the V2 announcement came out and it absolutely rocketed. It did a 4 or 5x up to 6 cents, back down again to 3, back up. Gala is a marketing machine as well. They are very, very good at it. It came back down to 1.8 cents and it's back up to 2.5 cents. I think it's fair to expect a further rally, but again, the daily stochastic RSI is very high. It's turned down. The 4 hourly is rock bottom and probably just about to turn up by the look of it as well, but there's a little bit of volume there. And the hourly is almost maxed out on the stochastic RSI, but that could carry on going sideways with pressure from the 4 hourly. So the market as a whole, I'm giving a very similar story. The daily and the daily and the hourly stochastic RSIs all appear to be pretty much exhausted, but the 4 hourly seem to have some room in. So the market really could go either way. I think Gala, in terms of popularity, if there's any kind of positive news, it will run up. It will. But at the moment, whilst things are quiet for Gala, it's not going to happen. It's going to be trade activity. We've seen this constant little pick up since 1.8 cents because 1.8 cents is very cheap. But again, if you look at the token supply issue, let's have a look at Gala. And I think this is probably another example of supply and price. Just waiting for this chart to load, folks. If there's anyone there in YouTube, welcome. I hope you're all right. I haven't seen any questions yet, but I hope you're there. So let's have a look. So all-time chart, you can see here the price on the all-time chart hit all-time high in about November 2021, which is perfect. It got up to about 75 cents, which is pretty amazing when you think about where we are at the moment. That's like a 25x. Yeah, 25x from where we are, near enough, maybe 23, 24x. But then you look at the market cap was 5.25 billion. So we're now at 555 million. So you're looking to be about 1/10 of the market cap, yet your price is not 1/10. Your price is 1/25. That's how much the supply situation's changed. So yeah, you would think that actually if the market cap's come down tenfold, the price should have come down tenfold. If that was the case, you would be looking at a token price of about 7.5 cents, but you're not. You're looking at a token price of 2.5 cents. That shows how much the price situation has changed. So as much as I like Gala and as much as it's a market leader and as much as it's got the most support out of anyone that's diversifying to movies and music streaming, I would say, for me, this is still not a hold for a long term. Your total supply, your max supply is 50 billion. Your total supply is 24 billion. So they are at least now 50% in supply. But that's had an effect. Dude, this used to be 20% in supply. So that increase in release of supply has come in line with these price increases over time, which has left your token price diluted. What do I think of NEO, Chinese answer to ETH? NEO's been around a long, long time. People have spoken about NEO a lot, and it is kind of like the Chinese version of ETH. But ETH is also the Chinese version of ETH. I know obviously it's for Vitalik's token, but ETH is used worldwide. NEO was set out to be the like you say, the Chinese alternative. There is good volume, about 5% volume going through. Is it 5? Yeah, 5% volume going through in the last 24 hours. $8.87, market cap 626 million, fully diluted 886, so it's about 75% circulating supply. Looking at the all-time chart, you can see here it has been around a long time, which is a good sign. It survived the bear market already. However, it did not set new all-time highs in the bull run in 2021. So May 2021, it made a high. The November high was really small. So that is depreciating during a bull market, which I do not like to see. It did not set higher highs, and it actually started declining early in the bull run, which is not good. Now, in terms of market cap, you had 12.3 billion, and in the last bull run, you had 8 billion. So it's come down by a good 30% or more in terms of market cap gains from bull run to bull run. So I think this is probably a depreciating asset over time, not. You could probably make money on it now. If we said it depreciated 30% again, that's going to take us down to about 90. So in terms of market cap, 30% off there. It's going to take you down to about 5 or 6 billion. So somewhere around that all-time high, that high there in one of the old bull runs might be expected. But it looks like it's depreciated. It doesn't look like it's gaining more traction. It's gaining less traction. But it is a very respectable project. It's been around a long time. Who knows what it could actually do? But I don't like seeing lower highs in between bull runs. I've got a bit of Gala just in case they give some free with Gala 2.0. I know you liked your freebies, Negged. That's fine. And I think Gala will give you a return. If you've been buying at the bottom, somewhere around 2 cents or less, I'm sure you'll make money. It's just always been the case with Gala that I never liked the supply setup. And the fact that the token has devalued over time, and you saw it there. The price should be about 7.5 cents right now. It's not. It's 2.5 cents. So your market cap and your all-time highs don't add up. That's because of token dilution. Do I like Injective Protocol? Yes, I do. I do like Injective Protocol, but as I said, it's another example whereby the price is diluted over time, and it's never. Well, it says it's never. $22 all-time high on Injective Protocol, I don't think is going to be achievable in the next bull run because the supply situation is diluted to so much. Node Army, you're absolutely welcome, buddy. Not an issue at all. Another 10 minutes or so left on this live, folks, and then it's on with the day. But let's check in with some others. Let's go look at Crypto Bubbles. We haven't actually looked at Crypto Bubbles yet today because we've had a fairly buzzy chat, which is good. Down to 13 people, which is odd. Keep smashing those likes, please, people. Keep the people coming in. We're really suffering on numbers this morning. At one point, we were up to nearly 40, and now we're down to 10. It's a bit odd. I know in the UK we're on school run time, though, so that probably is why. So on the daily chart, we're seeing a little bit of red. There's some green coming. Akala very, very strong. Akala, if it bounces back from the problems it had in the bear market, could be very, very strong. I love Akala, but they had an exploit which really, really hit the price hard. And I didn't think they were going to recover, but they are now having some pretty spectacular action. In the last week, they're up 53%. In the last month, they're up 30%. So they've started some form of comeback, which is great to see. Radix is up 6.5%. Centrifuge, which is what I'm looking at in the parachains that I do hold a little bit of, that's up 8%. Moon River's up 4%, which is good to see. Flux A0 and Infinity up as well. ARB's back up a little bit. CHSB. If you've watched my YouTube, there's some tokens in here that you'll recognise. I have dropped my YouTube video of my top 5 altcoins. That is available. The link is in the Discord, but of course, if you just hop across to my YouTube channel, it's the last video I posted. My top 5 altcoins that I am actually accumulating right now, not just my favourite 5, but the ones that I'm actually buying. So please feel free to go ahead and check that out and let me know what you think. Drop the comments in. Obviously, subscribe if you're not subscribing to YouTube already. But just let me know what you think over there. Zingo Ringo, hello buddy, how are we doing? Good to see you over there on YouTube. Thank you for coming over and supporting me, buddy. Appreciate that 100%. I hope you're very, very well. I've got an imposter in here. Someone get that imposter out of here. Right, so there's another Aaron. Is there? Let's have a look. So, I've got to work out how to do this now. So, this is when I need my mod. I'll need to find them. I think they might have even blocked me because I can't see their comments. Zingo Ringo, you're absolutely welcome, buddy. I mean, I'm pleased you say it's good work. It's just my opinion, and I don't mind people objecting. Click on people button at the top. Oh, okay. Yeah, man, this person's definitely blocked me. They're not even showing. You sneaky sneakies. Sorry, YouTube, all you got there was a picture of my hand. Sorry, I've got to learn to use my left hand. Right, okay, sorry about that. They're not commenting, just adding people. Freaking spammers. Right, I will go ahead and find them after the live and report them. But please remember as well, try and find them and report them for me as well. It does help because TikTok don't do anything with these scammers. It just helps their numbers. They don't get rid of them. I've got reports that have been open for months and they've not even reviewed it. Yeah, my live can get reviewed in 30 seconds and get turned down. Mind boggles. Oh yeah, one affects viewer count numbers and the other one doesn't. Bizarre. Anyway, moving on to my disgust. What price do I think XRP will hit after the SEC case settles, if it settles in favour of Ripple? I think what we have to bear in mind with Ripple is it's more than likely to settle in bits and pieces. There are some things that the judge can definitely give a summary judgment on. Things like the after-sales market. Once the secondary sales market takes place and they're sold to secondary market, it's no longer a security. I think we can safely say that ongoing things are safe to trade from there on as a normal trading asset, not as a currency, not as a security. Of course, whether or not it is or was a security, that I think is actually going to go to trial. I don't think they're going to settle that because Ripple want to be declared to be not a security. The ongoing secondary market sales doesn't really clear that up. So in terms of token price, and I certainly expect XRP to achieve all-time high. I think that's almost a given that everyone knows is going to be the case. Previous all-time high, $1.97. That's not right. It's been higher than that. This chart doesn't start early enough with Binance. But what I would say, I would expect a 3.5 to 4x basically upon settlement, at least, which gives me an opportunity to take some profits at least. That's not going to be the end of it. We'll start seeing, obviously, release of use case and more circulation coming in. We might even see XRP and Ripple start, increasing their buybacks. We do know that they buy back. That's normal. The recent story about a 10 billion buyback is not true. David Schwartz, the CTO, has come out and poo-pooed that already. He's not aware of anything. And people are still in denial, saying that he's only the CTO. What does he know? Well, the CTO is pretty key to any kind of company. He will know. Now, they do buybacks. That's not denied. He's sort of verified that they do buy back for their ODL usage. But at the end of the day, there's no plan to buy back like 10% of the supply. That's just not going to happen. Not at the moment, at least, anyway. So we do know that they do need quite a lot of tokens for that corridor to operate, and it will affect token price. And in effect, people have talked about buybacks for stupid prices, but I do think Ripple will be buying this back out of supply for. And I've said all along, if RippleNet gets to a certain size and it becomes like a private ledger, they will buy all the tokens back. But I just don't think it'll be for stupid money. I think there is a strong possibility that RippleNet becomes a private ledger for institutional use. Which would make sense to me. Why have it as a public one? We don't need it. It's an institutional banking token. The general public does not need to hold the token. If you want to invest in RippleNet, you hold it when they go public with their IPO shares. But yeah, I mean, I think $2 to $3 is probably going to be easy after settlement. After that, it's going to be a longer journey again, and we'll just see where the top lies. Binance and Coinbase will settle before the Ripple case, more than likely. Although Binance is looking less and less likely. They pulled out of Belgium the other day. So they are pulling out of numerous markets, all to do with regulation around being able to on-ramp and off-ramp fiat. And I just get the feeling there's something very, very shady with Binance. I've been saying it for a long time. If you have nothing to hide, you regulate. If you've got something to hide, you don't. And they are pulling out of every country that asks them to regulate. It's not coincidence. If something smells like poop, it's probably poop. I don't want Binance to go anywhere. I think they could end up being the world's largest decentralized exchange. It's difficult to call them a centralized exchange when they don't register anywhere. They don't have fiat on ramps and off ramps. They're almost going to be completely decentralized, which is an interesting concept. Because that is the way that we want some of it to go. We want DeFi to exist. We want decentralized finance still. But we want that element. I personally want that element of centralization whereby it becomes a regulated industry. That's the only way that real money's ever going to come into it. Then I'll be renting my XRP to the banks. I don't know whether or not we'll have that luxury of choice. I know, if we don't transact it, they can't take it back. But also, if we don't transact it, they might not ever be sold. So once that ledger goes private, we might not have a choice. We might not be able to trade XRP anymore. So if they start buying it back, I don't think we'll have a choice. There'll be a limited time period, like handing over fiat that's expired. You get your physical promissory notes, your dollars or your pounds, whatever. They're just promissory notes, and they all expire. Now, if you don't hand those over at the counter, they become invalid tender. And they could do the same with the tokens. If we don't hand them over, they'll become invalid tender, and they won't be able to be bought back and used on the RippleNet. So there's that possibility. There's always been in the back of my mind of if it goes private, then there is a scenario for a buyback. But I don't think they can't enforce it. But also we can't just sit there and hold it and expect it to go up in value. I think it will become a nothing token, a shell token. We need regulation. It is a necessary evil. I think it is. Regulation is required for security and adoption. People aren't going to invest in the wild, wild west forever. No one's going to take those risks. We need to see things like regulation, insurance, and all these kind of protections that we see with everyday banking for everyday people to use it. Does that mean it may not be worth holding XRP long term? I'm holding XRP long term. I'm not going to sell all of my tokens when the court case is done. I will take some profit when it's done, but because I've learned if you don't take profit, you're not making money. But in theory, if that scenario of a private ledger buyback scenario plays out, and there's hundreds of different scenarios, but if that buyback scenario happens because they want the ledger to be private, they can't force you to hand your token over and take that payment. But what they can do is kind of make the token an invalid promissory note token type scenario. So like I say, when our legal tender expires and it's replaced, they say, okay, well, you've got another 12 months to cash this in, otherwise it's not going to be worth anything. You've been warned. They could do the same with XRP. Ripple could turn and say, right, we need all the XRP back. We're going to buy it off you. This is the set price. Come and hand it over to us. We'll do the exchange through whatever means. They could set up a fixed price, or the market could just go mad selling it back directly on the exchanges. There's so many different ways that can pan out. But ultimately, for me, I think if you treat it the way that you treat fiat currency, like I say, like pounds with their physical notes, they have an expiry on them. If they go to a private ledger, they might say, right, you've got 12 months to sell us back your XRP, or you won't be able to use them. They'll be shell tokens and worthless. It'll be difficult to see them doing it, but it's a scenario that could play out. Any idea if a buyback price range? Absolutely none, Node Army. I mean, how do you calculate a buyback? It's impossible. There's so many scenarios. I think certainly they would have to pay you market value plus. And if the announcement is even suspected, you would see speculation from people buying large quantities of XRP before the news hits. It's a massive buy the rumor, sell the news event. Those people buying it up before the news event would possibly drive up the price for the calculated buyback. You would certainly have to do market value plus, but other than that, how do you set that price? I don't know. Will XLM become the peer-to-peer token of XRP if XRP is the banker's coin? I don't know. I mean, certainly we're looking at the European CBDC using XLM. It is a great ledger technology. Very much a good alternative to XRP and Ripple. Its use case is very, very similar. And I think if you're looking at a government system, they wouldn't want one private entity to do everything. They would want some kind of independence and security from that independence. If you had one entity do everything, then that opens up a can of kind of like, not corruption, but they could quite easily control the government finances. So I think you'd want separate entities in there doing separate bits, so that you have an element of security. And obviously then quant sits over the whole lot as the interoperability play. Right then, folks, couple more minutes and I am winding up the live. So get your last couple of comments and questions in. If you're on YouTube and you want to know anything, just shout it out. You've been there very patient, not asked any questions. Zingo Ringo, you especially, I can see you there. If you're on TikTok and you're not already, please do follow the links in my bio to YouTube and subscribe over there. A lot of I did my top 5 altcoins that I'm currently buying. A video yesterday. It's about half an hour long, but it explains why I'm buying it, why I like it, and what my expectations are, as well as there are kind of clues as to what I hold as well. Where does XDC fit in with all this? XDC is ISO compliant, which is something slightly different. XDC for me is probably the second most corporate institutional token out of all of them. XDC doesn't really do anything at all to do with NFTs or gaming or metaverse. It's solely about corporate adoption and government use case. So Zinfin is a very good project in that regard. I still think it's actually grossly undervalued, but it could do really, really well. Node Army, thank you, buddy. I appreciate you hitting me up on YouTube. I appreciate it 100%. As I said, my lives are going to be screen shared over there from now on, and I'm going to do some more detailed YouTube videos because I need to get my viewing hours up. But I appreciate you all 100%. I'm going to call it a day there then. Have a great day, everyone. I will see you soon. Take care. But as I said, any queries, comments, drop them in the comments wherever. And obviously, I hope to see you in the Discord as well. Speak to you all soon.